Hey guys, in this video we are going to create the login form. So in my XAMPP folder I'm going to start first the XAMPP application, then here start Apache and then MySQL. Then here inside my htdocs I created a new folder, login logout.php, that login logout project. So currently it's empty. Then I'll go to my browser and then visit, and as you can see it's still empty. In my editor we can create this new file. Let's just call it index.php. So let's close this one. Let's just hide the menu, then refresh. As you can see we have an empty page file. Now let's create the HTML. So I'm going to add the tab, then here, and create the title. Should be login. As you can see, login. Then here, insert form here. So now let's create the layout of our form. So here we need to have email address, or username, then password, then a button. So now let's create the form. So here we'll need to add a div, and then let's put an ID of form container. Then here let's create the form elements. Inside we'll have an input type of text, and then here let's give it a name of username. Also here password, the name of password, and then here a button which is in the type of submit. Then here, so instead of button let's do an input, and the value will be submit. So if we refresh, as you can see we have the username, password, then the submit button. Now let's try to add or group these inputs. Then let's add a class of input container. Here let's create the label for username. So here it should have an ID of username, and here or email. So if we refresh, as you can see username or email. Next is we'll just grab this code, insert, then here we'll need to have the password. So pass should be a password, and then here the type will be password, and then change the label to password. Then let's try another one, input container, and then insert the button. Then here let's try to move just delete this one. Fresh. So now we're going to add a style to our form. So here in our head, let's try to link a style sheet. Then here the file name, so let's just use style.css. Then here new file will have style.css. So let's try background red. They should set the background to red. So for now let's just remove the default or browser's padding margins px. Then here we'll just center the form. So now here let's grab the form container. Let's add the width of max width of 5 px. Let's set the width to 100% so it's resizable, and then let's set margin 0 to auto to center the form, as you can see here. Now let's add the background green. For now we'll add the padding, so then px border radius by px. Then also in the body let's add the margin and here let's add the padding to 20, tap bottom, then 10 left right. Now this label, let's try to make it black element. Then here add a font size of 10 px. Maybe let's make it bigger. Now the background, so let's just make this one white, and let's just add the border. So here can have take the border on that one. Now let's transform this to uppercase. Then let's size to 16px. Now let's add a margin between the inputs. So fresh. So here this input, let's set the height to 50 or maybe 30. Border is refresh. Then background red. So let's set the padding by px. So here fresh. Then let's make this one width be 100%. So here let's remove the padding. Instead of padding, we'll add an indent. Remove the padding and just use indent. Remove some of these. Then here let's update the submit button. Here padding 20px, padding 20px, 0px important. Then the height, set the auto, and then cursor will be pointer. So in our index, we can just write type equals submit. Just copy this one, then refresh. Now let's do submit, and then here let's remove this outline. So once we hover, we don't see that black border. Fresh. Now let's try to make it 18px. And let's make it. So now this buttons are the background green, but let's update the move border, and let's copy and paste. Then also here we can remove the radius, and here let's make it that car, or maybe so in our form container, let's update or remove, refresh, set the margin tab. Then lastly, let's add h2, which is a form header, so margin bottom, font size, let's increase the font size, color red, then let's add the border bottom. Now let's copy this one. Here should have form header. Fresh. I think we can remove the border. Let's just remove the border. It looks better without. Let's add the padding between the tags and the username. Let's make it more bigger. Copy. Fresh. So now if we remove okay, so let's make the height 40px. And I think that's it. So So we have the username or email, password, and lastly, let's add a placeholder in there, your username, email, or this is just username. So for now, let's just use username. Here, placeholder, use your password. So if you refresh, should have that username and password. Let's just delete this one. If you refresh, as you can see, we have the username, password, the submit button. So in the next video, we are going to set up the database to capture the data. So